I feel all of you judging me right now. Okay, I know it's a lot of palettes. I feel like I went from 2 to 120 really quickly, and I feel like an edit is definitely necessary here. That is too many. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys an edit of my palette collection, as the title would suggest of this video. Or is the title below me? I think the title's below me. It doesn't matter. And this all came about because I have like this bin where I kept all of my palettes that I don't use on a regular basis, and I was about to add another one to it, and I couldn't fit anymore. So I feel like that was all the incentive I needed to actually clear out my collection a little bit. And I asked you guys on Insta story if that was something that you wanted me to actually do a video on and all that stuff, and everyone wanted to see this. I also included it as an option of videos in a poll that I did on that little community tab on YouTube. I think it shows up in your subscription feeds. A lot of you guys were saying in the comments that it's nice to see sort of a fresh start, a new year, and sort of seeing the ones constantly gravitating towards, and the ones that just didn't work is a great way to know where to spend the money and where to not spend the money. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. Give it a big thumbs up if you do, and let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I'll do another poll on the little community tab, so stay tuned and kind of check for that on which one I should do next for my edit. Should I do like lipsticks, or I should do highlights? Oh my gosh, I have so many highlights. Maybe drugstore foundations, high-end foundations, maybe all foundations. Stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and without further ado, let's get into this. Actually, I lied. I need to do a little bit of a do first. I want to talk really quickly on how I'm going to organize and structure this video so it's not like 100 years long. And I want to show you starting with what my palette collection kind of looked like when I was laying it all out. So yeah, no, I know, it's a lot. And so what I did to make this video go a little bit faster is I stacked all of the palettes into 10 piles, and then each pile I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you guys up close what is included, and then we're going to go through the best and the worst within that pile of the things that I'm keeping, ones that I'm not, all that stuff. All of the piles are random. There's a mixture of drugstore, high-end. That is how we're going to be organizing today's video. We're just gonna go pile by pile until we get through all of this. We can do this together. So we'll start with stack number 1. We have NARS, NYX, we have ColourPop, like a whole bunch of different ones in here. And I think I'm gonna start with the Huda Beauty. This is the Mauve Obsessions. They actually sent this to me as a press sample. Originally I had bought the taupe with the warm brown one and then the smoky one, and I thought both of them were fantastic. I passed originally on the mauve one, mauve, because I felt like it was too pink and purple and it wasn't something I was going to wear on a very regular basis, but I don't know guys, I really like it. Especially these like pinky tones right here. They're so beautiful, ridiculously creamy, smooth, and pigmented. I think I will donate the NYX Contour Intuitive palette. It's just something I honestly haven't reached for that often, and I don't use these kinds of palettes very much. Kiss Halo Strobing palette, I've just started to play around with a little bit. The quality of these is really great. It's very creamy and pigmented, so been loving that. Something I'm planning on probably donating is the Becca palette that they did with Chrissy Teigen. The shades are just a bit dark for my skin tone, and so I don't really reach for it that often, but I can see my sister-in-law Caroline really enjoying this, so I'll probably give that to her. The ABH Glow Kit I still really like. Carly Bible palette is also amazing. I don't know, this Maybelline palette, I wasn't super impressed with this particular one. It just was very dry. It wasn't as pigmented as I want it to be, and the shades felt a little bit on the greeny side, something I don't really reach for that often, so we'll probably be donating that one. And I think I might donate this ColourPop palette too, because I have another palette from ColourPop that is highlights that I just like a little bit better, and this one, most of the shades don't work for my skin tone, unfortunately. Well, we're starting off this video very aggressively. We're already donating 3 palettes. That's intense. I mean, we're saving 7, but still. Good pile, over here. Bad pile, I don't know where to put you. Bad pile, over here. Now we have round 2 out in front of me here. You guys can see up close what we're working with here. Oh my gosh, this MAC palette. This was one of the first high-end palettes that I ever bought, and I was so excited to finally kind of invest in some new makeup. And so I got these colors. There were a couple of other ones as well, which I've obviously hit pan on and I got rid of. But I need to fill this up again with some new shades because these ones are really old and I should not be wearing them. So we have Dazzleite, Naked Lunch, Woodwinked, and what's this one over here? Whoa. Espresso. So just some good classic shades. I think I actually learned about Naked Lunch from YouTube. I'll be giving away the Carity Unicorn Dreams palette, and I just wasn't impressed with the pigmentation of these shades. I feel like if you're going to include some really bright pops of color, they should be really impactful on the eyes, or at least buildable, and I didn't find that to be the case with the shades that I felt like I would be using the most often, which are more in these bluey purple tones. We also have a classic, the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. There were months that I went went with just using this and no other palettes. I was obsessed with this. I use it for eyeshadows, contour, a highlight, just everything, and it's amazing. Oh, here's the ColourPop palette that I was talking about. This one here is probably my favorite. This is Here Kitty Kitty. It's just very light, almost shell pink, but is really, really flattering on the skin. I feel like my lighting is really off today. I can't really see any of the highlights. It's really pretty in person. For this Too Faced palette, I honestly don't reach for this that often. The colors are so pretty to look at though, and I love the packaging. It's so cool. They have all these glitters inside that like move back and forth. It's really fun. I feel like I need to use this more. You know what? I'm gonna try and use this in an upcoming video. I want to use this shade right here, Splash. This looks really, really pretty. Oh, can we just take a minute to appreciate that shade right now? That is going all over my lid. So this was a very successful pile. Good job, pile number 2. On to pile number 3. Ooh, oh, we got some naked palettes in here. A classic. Okay, the first one to go is the NYX Fire palette. I talked about this in my NYX Bar Buy. These palettes are so expensive, and just the payoff wasn't that exciting. It was nothing, it was not $40 worth. Oh, the Zoeva palette. This is the Basic Moment palette. I feel like people don't talk about the Zoeva eyeshadows that often, and this is such a great one. Like, look at that. My skin is basically these colors and you can still see them. The only thing missing from this palette is something a little bit darker, something that I could kind of smoke along the lash line. I feel like all the shades are fairly light. The NYX Sweet Cheeks palette, I love this blush palette. I included this palette in the beauty box I did with Top Box a couple months ago, and it's just such a good palette. Tons of different options to choose from. There are some matte shades, some shimmer shades, light, dark, neutral, pops. Like, there's just lots to choose from. Really good drugstore palette. Okay, these Rimmel palettes. I'm gonna be honest, I have not played around with these a lot. I don't know, they just didn't jump out to me. Is that bad? I mean, like, since we're here, we should just swatch these. Oh, Rimmel came to play, I see. It's swatching really well. All right, well, maybe I need to keep this and test it out a little bit more. Oh, and this one is the London Nudes Calling. London Nudes Calling. That doesn't sound appropriate. This one here is Grunge Glamour, more of the smoky tones. We'll give you a swatch as well. Okay, it's a little bit on the crumbly side. I'm not excited about this palette, like the options and variety and everything. They're not like my absolute favorites, but I'll probably play around with them a little bit. All right, the Naked palettes, everyone. Even though I don't use them that much, they're so pretty. I can't bring myself to donate these. The Smashbox Shape Matters eye palette, I probably will donate. I don't think it's a bad quality palette. I have other totally matte palettes that I prefer. So I'll probably give this to someone who will use it more than I do. All right, moving on to stack number 4 here. More Zoeva, we have Stellar, Naked, Milani, Tarte, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, I don't even know where to start here. I'll start with the Zoeva Summer Strobe Spectrum palette. I'm kind of on the fence about this. Like, it's so pretty. I don't want to donate it. I don't use it that much, but no, I'm gonna keep it. I want to use this more often. I think I might donate the Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette. It's not that it's a bad palette. I think the quality of this is really good, but I just don't do cream contour that often, and this highlight shade, gorgeous, but I just can't justify keeping it for just that one highlight. So this will go to a good home. The Stellar palette, I really haven't played around with this that much. The brand is fairly new to me. They're out of Sephora, but these shades are so pretty. Oh, they're velvety soft, people. Oh, do you see that? I just swatched that just a little bit. Wowza. All right, well, we are going to be keeping that over here to use that tomorrow. I think I'll donate the Zoeva Matte Spectrum palette. Just a bunch of matte, kind of colorful shades. Haven't really touched this, so I'm going to give that to a good home. Next is the Essence Eyes and Face palette. Ooh, look how blinding that is. What about these eyeshadow shades? They're a little bit on the chalky side, a little bit on the streaky side, but not too shabby considering the price point of Essence. That's pretty good. The only thing I'll say is that the combination of these colors is a little bit confusing to me. I don't really see what they were trying to go for here. Everything is shimmer based, but there's a blue, purple, a dark brown, and a light color that's very similar to the highlight. I'm not understanding this palette, but I kind of want to play with it a little bit because it's like a good drugstore price, and the highlight is really pretty. And I know I just donated a palette because I couldn't see myself using that one highlight, but you know what? I didn't say this video was gonna make sense. Just let me live, people. I love makeup. I was just sent this Catrice palette fairly recently, the Modern Matte collection. I haven't really played with that much. Do you guys have any experience with Catrice? Have any recommendations of ones I should buy? Let me know. This is new, so I'm going to keep that. Looks like my collection is not getting much smaller, people. All right, guys, we're on to pile number 5, aka 50 palettes. Ooh, we got a lot of different things going on here. We have some L'Oreal, Lorac, Tarte, Naked. We got the other Naked palettes here. Some Smashbox. I guess we'll start with the Smashbox ones. I'm just gonna open all of them up. The Ablaze eye palette. Oh, you guys won't be able to see that. Can I crane my arm a little bit and do like a bird pose? No? Nope, still can't see it. Okay, cool. Can you see those at all? They're very pretty. I will keep that one, and I will probably donate the matte one. This is the matte eyeshadow palette. There you go. I really like the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I just gave, I just got another one for Caroline for Christmas. For those of you that don't know, Caroline is my sister-in-law, and she's the only other one that is as makeup obsessed as I am. But this is actually one of the palettes that is like my go-to everyday palette. Oh my gosh, it smells so nice. I can smell all the peachiness. Keep that over there, and the ones that are going right beside my desk. The Naked 3 palette, I think of all of the Naked palettes, this is the one that I like the least. The original Naked palette I will be keeping. This is again one of the first high-end products that I ever bought. The Lorac Pro palette is also one of those ones that I'm just keeping because of the sentimental value. It's like it's a really good palette, but you can see it's gotten a lot of love. The mirror is broken and everything. I use this palette so much. It has the mattes on top, the shimmers on the bottom, great quality palette. Oh, my donate pile finally tipped over, everyone. All right, pile number 6. Oh, dropping them everywhere. Okay, looking through. Okay, I know exactly where we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the palette that is one of my go-tos. It was actually one of my favorite products of 2017, is the Tarte Clay Play palette. This has a range of matte neutral shades that are supposed to be used for the brows, contour, eyes, all that stuff. It smells amazing. They blend out like a dream for me. Love, 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 love this palette. Same with the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions. This would probably also be a favorite of mine of 2017. I didn't mention it, but I should have. These shades are such shades that I would reach for on an everyday basis for like a really glam look. Like, I really love this palette. I want to continue to use that. The Zoeva Spring Strobe palette, I will probably donate. This just has a lot of like greens and purples, and I have other palettes that have those shades that I use more often. I think I'll also be donating the Too Faced Christmas in New York palette. Not that it's a bad palette at all. I think like the shades and everything are gorgeous. It's just, I don't reach for it on an everyday basis, and it's not something you can get in anymore, and I don't want to use eyeshadows or makeup in general that isn't available anymore. So if I mention anything here and you guys are like, that's discontinued, let me know because I will donate it. I'm also going to donate this Maybelline Gigi Hadid palette. This is the Cool Tone palette. I just don't reach for this at all. And yeah, I don't know. I wasn't super excited about this one. Everything else we's a keepin'. Set 7 here, we have some products that haven't been opened yet. These are new ones for me. So I will obviously be keeping those. For example, the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I haven't even opened this one yet. The Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This is a great one. There was a long time where this is basically the only palette I used. Of all of the Naked palettes, this is probably my favorite one. This one's the Smashbox 25 Years Lip palette. I'm going to donate this one, A, because it's not really available anymore, and B, I just don't use palettes with lip products in it. Oh, it even has the plastic thing on that. That's embarrassing. Like, don't get me wrong, these shades are beautiful. I just don't use lip brushes at all, and I just can't see myself using this that often. I would much rather use their like liquid lipsticks and stuff. These Zoeva palettes, I'm going to keep both of them. We have the caramel and white chocolate palettes, but like, look at these. Look how beautiful those are. The Estee Edit palette. Oh, I should probably donate this one. This bluey purple is just like giving me life. I am obsessed with that, and I kind of want to keep it just for that one shade. Dear Estee Lauder, can you come out with just this one shade, please? Because I can't get enough of it. I'm gonna donate the Makeup Revolution Ultra Brow Professional Makeup Palette. I just don't use it that much. It has a lot of cream products in it. It's not that it's a bad product at all. It's just I have other ones that I use more often. I just don't reach for this. The Makeup Forever palette, these shades right here were like a go-to like staple trio for me for a long time. And yeah, no, definitely going to be keeping this. I know I'm keeping like a lot of these, but I am making progress, everyone. This is exciting. We're working in baby steps here, people. All right, palette pile number 8. Oh, we're getting getting into some more Huda Beauty stuff, and we got some CoverGirl, lots of stuff in here. Okay, so I think I'll start with the Z palette. This is my collection of Makeup Geek shadows. I have a bunch of them in here, and I'm going to obviously be keeping this palette. I was very excited when I got these. As you guys have probably seen within the beauty community, people use these a ton, and the quality is unreal. I'm going to get rid of the Urban Decay Naked Illuminating Trio. It's just very glittery. I wasn't super impressed with it. It was baked. I don't know, didn't like it. I'm going to keep all three of these drugstore palettes. We have the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. This is one of their new launches. And then these two by CoverGirl. We have the Jewel Tone as well as the Nudes palette. I talk about this palette all the time. It is one of my favorites from the drugstore. It's so good. I'm going to donate the Makeup Revolution Iconic Pro palette. It's just not one that I use that often, so I think someone else will have better luck with it. Huda Beauty palette, this one right here, so pretty. Oh my gosh, I really enjoy playing around with all the different finishes that they have. She has mattes, shimmers, duochrome, just a bunch of different options to play with, and the colors are amazing. The Nudes and Roots palette, I haven't used that much recently. I'm gonna keep it because I feel like I need to give this one another shot and play around with it a little bit more. Oh, my stack keeps growing. Okay, the next pile of didn't I already go through this? Do I have two Sweet Cheek palettes? Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay, well, we will keep one and we will donate the other one. Whoops. I told you guys, it's a really good palette. We're gonna keep the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I think I'm going to get rid of the Sweet Peach Glow palette though. Really the only reason I was keeping it is because I love this blush, but they actually have this blush in a single. Basically, it's like very similar. The other shades just didn't impress me at all, so I will donate that. Surprisingly, I'm gonna be the only human on earth and I'm going to keep the Subculture palette. I think this was really good. I really like it. I use it quite often. It is quite dusty and very crumbly, but I find that is the same case with the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, no, I'm keeping this. NYX Strobe of Genius palette, also really amazing. 3D highlighter palette, Huda Beauty. I don't use this that often. I don't know. Oh, so creamy though. I don't know. You know what? No, I'm on the fence about this one. I think I'm gonna test it out a couple more times. I don't think these shades work that well for my skin tone, but I'm gonna give it one more shot. This is a way of a cafe eyeshadow palette. I will donate this one. I have other ones from them that I like better than this particular rendition, so I will donate this one. We have 3 more piles, everyone. Who is excited? So here we have all of the palettes out in front of us. We have Urban Decay Moon Dust, we have Body Shop, ColourPop, CoverGirl, Makeup Revolution, just a bunch of different things. I will start with my favorite one, which is in the Sephora Z palette. All of these shades in here are ColourPop. This is my ColourPop collection of single pressed eyeshadows. This is one that I use on a very, very regular basis. I love all of the shades, tones, everything in here. It's amazing. I'll keep the CoverGirl Goldens palette. Love this one. I think I'll donate the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette, I think, because I feel like the shades in here are very similar to this palette, which is the Urban Decay, what is this? This giant purple one. You can see here that the shades are very, very similar. There's more option in here, so I'll probably keep this one, donate this one. I'm also getting rid of the Ofra Pro palette. I just don't use it that much, and I'm not really a big fan of the textures. They don't blend out that well. I think I'm gonna keep the Body Shop palette. I feel like I haven't given this a fair shake. I haven't used this as much as I should, so I want to keep this around and kind of play around with it, test it a little bit, because when I was swatching it, they're beautiful shadows. And everything else here I am going to keep. Revolution, what am I gonna do with you? This is the Redemption Iconic 2 palette. I have not even opened this, to be honest, so I think this is going to go to a new home. I'm just not excited about the shade. On to the next. Oh, here's the other Ofra Pro palette. We're gonna put that directly into the donate pile. It's awful. Guys, you need to remind me to use these shades more. Like, look how beautiful they are, and it's so highly rated on the Sephora website. Like, these colors, like I need to use them more. They're so pretty. I'm also going to donate this palette from Hourglass. This is their ambient lighting palette, the Surreal Light palette. I just find that I have another palette that is similar to this one that has some bronzers in it that I like better. And this one, I found that this shade right here is very glittery, so I didn't so much like this. So I will be donating that one. I'm probably going to keep this Gigi Hadid palette. This is the Warms one. I find that these shades are just, I don't know, ones that I reach for more often. I haven't even opened this palette from LA Girl. I bought it months ago. These are these shades right here. They're very pretty. I don't know. Let me swatch these. Oh, you know what? I'm not that impressed actually. Like the highlight shade is kind of crumbly. I'll play around with it. I'll keep it, try it out, test it out, but not super impressed. The Steel and Matte Metal palette, I don't know. I'm not super excited about it. It's not something I reach for that often. This is going to go to a new home. And now we have the final palette pile, everyone. We're finally there. Okay, we have some Kylie in here, Winky Lux, Wet n Wild, Urban Decay, lots to go through. I think I will start with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting palette. I just don't use any of these shades, guys. They're not ones that I reach for on a very regular basis. They're more colorful than I would normally reach for. I'm gonna donate this one. Oh, here's the Hourglass palette that I was talking about before that I really like. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3 palette. All of these shades are amazing. I love this palette. We'll continue to use this one. I also really like the Winky Lux palette, actually. I love the shades in here. They blend out so smoothly on the skin. Really like this one. Urban Decay Full Spectrum, I don't think I've ever used this one. I just feel like I have so many colorful palettes, and this is just another one of those ones that I don't use often enough, so I'm going to donate this. I'm gonna keep the Kylie palette. It's not one that I use like all the time. It's not an everyday staple, but I do really like it. I think it's good quality, and I think I'll keep everything else. I use the rest of them, so yeah, we finally made it through, everyone. Thank you for staying till the end of the video. You're a rock star. I still have a lot of palettes, more than any person needs in their lifetime, but there are a couple palettes in here that I still need to test out, try out, see if I want to keep it, and I feel like this was a good starting point. I do have a sizable pile over here of ones that I'm going to be donating to a local women's shelter and to friends and family, so that is awesome, and I have new ones that I want to like play around with a little bit more, which is also pretty cool. This is a really fun video to do. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos on different areas of my makeup collections, and let me know what you want to see in the comment section below. And that is everything. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And that is everything. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing week so far, and I'll see you guys all on my next video. Love you, girls. Mwah!